All right, so here is the deal. I wanted to pop in here and I wanted to go through my time management ebook, and I wanted to just kind of walk you through everything, how to make it actually work and what it looks like and kind of how to put it in motion. So let's just dive right in. So time management ebook, I actually printed it off for you. So first things first, I'm super glad that you're here. You're looking into making a change in your life, and we all know that if nothing changes, nothing changes. So that being said, you are here because you're looking to take back the hours in your day. Maybe you struggle with having all the things to do and not enough time to actually do it. So what I did is I started on my journey. I started to try to take control of the mindless tasks and things that I was doing and wasting a lot of time, and trying to figure out how to cut down on that time. And so the first things that I went through was I was busy watching Netflix. I was busy binge watching shows and episodes and things like that instead of actually doing the things. And so I decided to pick a show, and I decided to start to DVR my shows that were actually on the TV. So I had that opportunity. I found myself scrolling through social media all the time. And so I would set a timer on my phone to make it so like I could just like scroll without worrying about it. And when the timer went off, then I was finished. So then also I got caught watching people's stories all the time. And so I decided to pick 5 people that I wanted to put in my circle. And I find those 5 people every single day. I watch their stories, and after that, I'm finished until I have extra time to go through stories. I caught myself binge watching TV all the time. And so, like I told you before, I picked a show. And then what obviously helps too is to DVR those things. Playing games on your phone. I was totally caught red-handed with this stuff. And so playing games on my phone, I changed it to game night. I changed it to actually going and doing and playing an actual game, getting off of my phone and having conversations and sitting with people. And also, if you like the game on your phone, like set a timer for it. I'm going to play for 15 minutes because sometimes we start a game and then we look up and it's been like 2.5 hours. And then the last thing I noticed is I was eating and binge drinking all the time. And I realized that once I started to meal plan and once I started to actually like prep my food, I was way more just cautious of what I was eating, and whatever was in front of me, that's what I was eating. So if I put healthy food in front of me, that's what I tended to start to eat. Okay, so let's dive all into scheduling. Let's dive into my favorite part. So first things first, grab a piece of paper. Unless you can, go to Google and just type in fringe hours. There's actually a printable, which is pretty awesome. So it goes from 5 a.m. to obviously like 4 a.m. the next day. So it gives you full like 24 hours. But I would really just recommend from the time that you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed. So if you don't have this, I would just grab a sheet of paper and think to yourself, when do I normally get up? Okay, maybe it's 5 o'clock. So write 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you need to, you can go back and do 5, 5:30, 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30, etc. Okay, so that's the first thing that I would do. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my actual time log, and I'm going to create my schedule for this coming week, and I'm going to start to block out time. I'm going to block out my work schedule. I'm going to block out my appointments that I have. I'm going to block out family time, and then I'm also going to block out when I'm sleeping, and whatever time that I have left over is pretty much my free time to do whatever it is that I want to do. In my case, it's working my business on the side, or it was working my business on the side when I was a teacher full time, and now it might be painting my office or decorating the house, or doing the honey to-do list that we put together. So first things first, I'm going to go through and actually write down the dates on my calendar. So as far as Monday is concerned, Monday is the 23rd, Tuesday is the 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, and the 29th. So now I have my entire week with the dates on the top, okay? When I was a teacher, I was up super early, you guys. I was up early. I worked out. I got ready for school. I was a teacher all day. I came home, unplugged, had supper, and then I worked my business from 7 to 9 o'clock at night. My days look a lot different now since I'm a full-time coach. And so I don't need to get up at 5 in the morning, but some coaches still do, and that's totally fine. It's just not my jam. So I'm actually going to say that I'm going to wake up at 5. So I'm going to kind of cross out the top part because that's when I'm sleeping up until, I'm just going to say 7. So I'm going to draw the line. Okay, so the top part of mine, it starts at 5 and I don't get up at 5, so I'll be honest. So my day is gonna start at 7. Okay, so first things first, I want you to plug in your work. So normally that's like a non-negotiable for you. So for me as a teacher, it was from 8 to 4. Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. So go ahead and block that out right now. My work schedule looks a little bit different than everyone else's because again, I choose my own business hours. So I'm actually just going to block in the time that I normally work my business, and then we can kind of go from there. So let's just go from 9 to noon work. Okay, so hopefully by now you have yours blocked off, and I'm just gonna block it off for Saturday and Sunday purposes just for right now. Obviously your Saturday and Sunday is gonna look different than your Monday through Friday, and that's okay. Okay, so once you have your work, I want you to go back through and think, do you have any appointments that you have this week? So for me and my business, my appointments look different than what they used to look like. So now my appointments are calls that I have. So for an example, like Monday morning, I have to go live in a mentorship page at 9 a.m. So I would make sure that that's penciled in on Monday. I'm gonna put call in there. Tuesday, I also have a call for our coaching page that we have. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there too, that I have a call. And then I actually have an interview at 2 o'clock for the Summit of Hope this next week, and that's at 2. So I'm going to make sure that that is plugged in. And then we are hosting Joel Freeman, the creator of 10 Rounds, on Tuesday night at 8:30. So I'm going to go ahead and plug him in, which is pretty awesome to be able to say that. Okay, Wednesday, I have my elite call at 11 a.m. So I'm gonna plug that in. So right now what you're doing is you're just plugging in those appointments that you have. And then Thursday, I have a call at 10:30 to 11. That's my corp call. Okay. All right, so I've got all my calls added into my schedule. So those are considered like my appointments. So maybe you have a dentist appointment, a hair appointment, your child has an appointment, your husband has an appointment, whatever it is, that's what you plug in next. So first is your work, second is your appointments. The third thing I want you to do is schedule in some family time. And so when I was working as a teacher, from 5 to 7 was my family time. It was unplugged, I wasn't on my phone, I was spending it with my husband, with my dogs, and like just hanging out and doing whatever it looked like, whether it was supper, whether it was, you know, all the things. So go ahead and plug in that time for you. And so I'm just gonna do I'll just do the exact same time just to kind of keep it similar. Family time. And just know too as well, like obviously your family time might be more than mine, less than mine, whatever it is, just depending on your schedule. But your family time, like what you do during your family time might look different than what we do. So like supper and stuff is like part of our family time. Maybe yours is like reading stories and getting your kids ready for bed and baths and stuff like that. So okay, so I have that blocked off. So we have our work, we have our appointments, we have our family time, and then I want you to try to find 6 to 9 hours, 6 to 8 hours of sleep. They always say 7 to 9 is really good. So if I don't wake up until 7 in the morning, so then I have 7 to 6, 6 to 5, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so let's just say I'm going for 9 hours of sleep. I love my sleep. I know that's really sad. Okay, so let's just say for an example, I'm sleeping from 10 to 7. Okay, so 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 9 hours of sleep. So somewhere in between there. I am a night owl though, so I tend to like stay up a little bit later, but just kind of leaving that blocked out. Okay, Um, then the last part is the fun part. This is where you can find like the free time that you have in your life. And I know you're sitting there saying like, sis, I don't have any free time. Like this is where you're going to find it from. So if you look in the morning, like I'm sleeping, then there's like this big open block. Then there's me working. And then there's this giant chunk of time that's open. And then there's family time. And then there's a giant time of open. And then there's my sleep time. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to start to plug in my hobbies and things that I want to do. So maybe it is extra personal development. Maybe it's working out. Maybe you have a Cricut like I'm supposed to be getting and starting to make decals and stuff. Maybe you have some stuff you have to do around the house. Whatever it is, plug that in now. So for an example, from 7 to 9 in the morning, I'm just going to say that's my workout and PD time because it takes me a little bit longer to work out, to get ready in the morning, like to get going so I don't have to be rushed all of the time. So that's when I'm going to plug in my workout. So then from 12 to 5, I have time to myself. And so I could be doing some extra things. I could be doing some extra like team things, or I could be doing some extra things in my office or whatever it is. And so I always tend to call it just errands and also like PD stuff. So just doing some additional. And then from 7 to 9 o'clock at night, I have that extra time where I kind of plug back into my business and into my team. So that's kind of like our team business time. And a lot of the times I have calls from 7 to 9 o'clock at night. And so that's kind of what that looks like. So I know this is kind of like a mess right now, but it makes sense to me and it's going to make sense to you because you're doing your own schedule. So again, work, non-negotiable stuff, plug in your appointments, plug in your family time, plug in your sleep time, and make sure you have time for you, your free time. If working out is super important to you, maybe you plug that in when you're plugging in your family time. If you have a hobby that's really important to you every single day, plugging that in and your family time are probably pretty important to you. So I would be plugging those in, obviously. The places that I always take from is from sleep. So like if I need to do some extra work with my business, I'll take it from the sleep part. Or maybe I'll try to like mash my workout in a little bit faster, or maybe I will talk about family time and see if I can rearrange it, maybe see if someone can help me with what's going on, those kinds of things. So that is that. Once you're finished scheduling out all of that stuff from AM to PM, what I'm going to have you do is Google Calendar. And so I can't actually open this up and show it to you, but I can definitely share like a screenshot of what my phone looks like. So basically what I do is I go on Google Calendar on my computer. It's a lot easier that way. And I just start to plug in all of the things that I just told you. So I start to plug in work. And like if you're a teacher, let's just say 8 to 4, Monday through Friday is blocked off, and call it work or teaching or whatever it is, and use a specific color. Then you're going to go through with appointments. You're going to block those out, use a different color. And then you're going to use your family time or your important hobbies or whatever it is. Block that out, use a different color. Your sleep time, block it out, use a different color. And anything else left over, just make sure you're using those different colors. And the reason I use Google Calendar, you guys, is because you can set timers on your phone. So like when you put in the event in your phone, you can set to have like a 5-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute, hour, 2-hour like alarm on it. And so when I first started, and I actually still have it now, but I have a 10-minute timer. So that way when it goes off, I'm like, okay, I've got 10 minutes to get my shit figured out and to go like get to where I need to be. And so once you get it finished, this is kind of what it starts to look like. So do you see how things are like blocked out for me in different colors? I didn't use color, I probably should have, but it just shows you my workout, breakfast, business, lunch, personal development, errands, business, family time. Okay, so it just shows you it's all blocked out, and obviously using different colors. And so basically what I did is I created this, and then every night when I went to bed, I just kind of reflected on my schedule. I reflected on things I could change. I reflected on things that I could like mix around here and there. But you guys, communication is huge. And the fact that it's on your Google Calendar, you can sync it to your phone. You can sync it to your spouse, maybe your parents, maybe your kids, whatever it is. And you're all on the same page and you're all syncing, because pretty much everyone has a phone now. So it's just nice to be synced and to know where people are, when to contact them, and those kinds of things. And to be completely honest with you guys, like as a retired middle school and high school teacher and sports coach, I've really found this system to work well for me in every season of my life. If something comes up, I can plug it into my schedule, because I'm not running like flying at the seat of my pants. I'm not running around with my head cut off. So if something happens, it doesn't overwhelm me. It doesn't like totally bogged down my day, I'm like, okay, perfect. I'm going to plug it in here. I'm going to move this box here, and I'm just going to keep going. So staying super organized. This has obviously helped me grow my business. It's helped me with my mentality, basically my physicalness, because I've been able to add in my physical fitness. It's been, awesome for me, just kind of all over with my family, with life, and just everything just coming together and just being super organized. So that being said, here's my challenge for you. Go complete this activity, create your schedule, do me the biggest favor ever, screenshot it when you're finished, and send it to me. If you have questions along the way, you know how to reach me. Instagram, MEGA, Mega Change Today. I probably shouldn't try to spell it, but MEGACHANGE, and then today. That's at my Instagram. And then email is megangeese17@gmail.com. Okay, so if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me via, anything social media. If you have questions and stuff, please let me know. That's what I'm here to do, is to help you and guide you and give you, some this here and there, or just some things like tips and tactical things to take away as you're creating your own schedule. Okay. All right, so super excited for you. Go do this challenge. Go schedule your life Monday through Friday, at least for next week. Screenshot it and then send it to me, okay?